Hey, horror fans. Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser. My name G. It's time to review my next horror movie. It is simply called Blood.
Don't fuck with them hoes.
Now, Blood is a 2023 American horror film. It was directed by Brad Anderson. It was written by Will Hunley. Now, the film stars Michelle Monaghan, Shreet Urich, Finlay Whitlock Henson, Skylar Morgan, and Jew B. Wild. Now, in this film, Jess, a divorced mother and nurse, moves her daughter and son back into an old farmhouse. However, after Owen is bitten by his dog, he starts suffering from a mysterious infection from a bite and must have blood. Ooh. In horror films, we've seen plenty of bad people that either can be the killer or a character the audience can't stand, and we can't wait for them to die at the hands of the killer. You know what I'm talking about. There's another trope that we've seen in horror films that can be evil, but their motives can be justified as they are known as bad mothers. Nor bad or evil mothers that we've seen in horror films can either be the killer or it can be a person simply doing what is necessary to protect their children, because that's what mothers are supposed to do, even if it's morally or abnormally wrong. Now, examples of these are Pamela Voorhees from Friday the 13th, trying to get revenge for what the camp counselors did to Jason. Margaret White from Carrie, because, she thinks Margaret is sinning. Mama from Mama, because she's a ghost that wants to have her kids. And of course, who can forget Norma Bates from Psycho? Now, these bad mothers did anything and everything possible to protect their loved ones or punish those who did. Now, that's what we have here with director Brad Anderson's latest project, a horror film simply called Blood. Now we meet Jess, a nurse who is moving back into an old farmhouse with her daughter Tyler and her son Owen. Now, this is not an easy time for Jess. She's going through a tough divorce and is also a recovering addict, so this move is to allow her to keep customer and her children and probably regain their trust too. Unfortunately, things take a turn for the worse when Owen is bitten by the family dog Pippin, who ran away into the forest and unfortunately came back rabid. Now, despite the doctor's best attempts, they can't find a way to treat Owen's condition until he starts drinking blood. Now, keep in mind, I'm not ruining anything here. This is happening all in the trailer, so there's no spoilers here. No, so of course, when Jess finds out, what will she do to keep Owen safe and alive? Will Jess become a bad mother? Well, first of all, I must say I was very impressed how this film deals with vampirism in a different light, and I really thought there's really decent horror film here. Now, first off, I love the setup as we get to see how messed up Jess is and her fragile relationship she has with Tyler and Owen. You can see how their dynamic plays into how she's struggling to make sure she maintains her sobriety and try to regain their children's trust. Like I said, this allows the audience to feel sorry for Jess, especially when dealing with her soon-to-be ex-husband Patrick and the things she does later in the film. Now, screenwriter Will Honley does a great job of making sure the audience gets to know more of Jess, Tyler, and Olin, and we get to care about them, what happens throughout the film. There's great character development. As far as, we get to see Jess, we get to see Tyler, and we get to see Owen. Obviously, more of the film focuses more on Jess and Owen's relationship than they do with Tyler, but Tyler has some moments in the film too. Now, the film is shot very nice, very high production value, especially in the area where Tyler and Owen go, where the lake used to be. It's a very barren looking area surrounded by some black looking evil mud and an evil looking tree stuck in the middle. I mean, it just looks and feels evil, and there's an evil presence surrounding the area. I thought they did a fantastic job in those scenes right there, focusing on the whole area, just like something's wrong there. What really makes this film go as the wonderful acting by Michelle Monaghan, from the Mission Impossible films. She is fantastic as Jess. I mean, you can feel her pain. We can sense her struggles, and she does anything and everything in her power to make sure Owen gets the blood that he needs. And Michelle does a good job in displaying that film. And she's a great actress too, by the way. So really kudos for her for doing something that I really haven't really seen her do. Never really seen her play in a horror film. She's mainly done romantic comedies, obviously the Mission Impossible films, but this is I see her first time actually being in a horror film, and I think she does a pretty good job. Now, child actor Finlay Wonton, his son, remember the kid from the Banana Splits horror film? He's fine as Owen. He's a boy who's happy at first, does have his little instigations with his mother, and have his world turned upside down now because he can't survive without drinking blood. And another thing I did like as I saw it was we see Owen as the more blood he drinks, the more he becomes what he's turning into, and you can see the I guess you call it downfall of his health. Because unfortunately, he simply cannot drink enough, and then he resorts to other actions. And again, that plays into just, what is she willing to do to keep Owen alive? I mean, even Street Urich from Screen Frame, he's decent as Patrick. He's a man who simply wants to protect his children from a mother he no longer trusts. Obviously, there might have been some love in there, but obviously, because of her addiction, he no longer trusts her. So anything that he feels as though is a threat to his kids, he's going to come out there and take them from her. Now, obviously, the message in this film is something that we've seen before in these bad mother horror films is just willing to do anything he needs to do, even if it means doing something morally wrong. And we get to see that play out in the film. Think upon the steps that he does take in order to make sure Owen gets the blood that he needs. Now, now we know what. Now we might know what offering is something from vampirism, some type of a different form, but the film never tells the audience that. I like the fact as the film progresses, the worse Owen condition gets, and you just feel real bad because you kind of figure that something bad is going to happen at the end of the film. So, with some great acting from Michelle and Finlay and some decent practical effects, no gore, but some decent practical effects, we have a pretty good horror film. Another good example of a bad mother in a horror film. So I'm going to give Blood 3 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Just giving it 3 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yeah, I really did enjoy the film. Great acting, some nice practical effects, some decent acting from the child actress is concerned. I think you guys really enjoy it. So there you have it. That's my video and review of the horror movie Blood. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share because it does help out with that YouTube algorithm. Have you seen Blood? Let me know in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules. I see you in my next video. I'm out.